Welcome to the Project Management Happy Hour. Our aim is to share frank and honest discussion about real-world issues in project management, but do it in a way that's not too dry, though it might get a bit salty sometimes.
Boss fights and boardrooms. Kate puts Kim through meeting hell in this tabletop roleplay episode.
Welcome to today's episode of Project Management Happy Hour, where I, Kate Anderson, am your host and game master over Kim Essendrup, my prisoner today.
Yes. Locked in the meetings today.
Yes. This is the April Fool's episode. I love playing tabletop role-playing games. It's one of my biggest hobbies, and I'm bringing it to you today. And I thought that this year it would be fun to put Kim through the meeting gauntlet. I asked our listeners and our members, if you're on our email list, I said, help me torture Kim. I have used your ideas as inspiration to torture Kim. So thank you so much for helping me come up with terrible meeting ideas. My hope today, genuinely, even if you're like, I'm not sure I'm into this, my hope is that you get to see Kim's wheels turn in real time as he thinks through how to get through really hairy stakeholder situations. Like, it is a silly premise, but these are all situations we've all been through. And whenever I go, oh, Kim, you got me, it's because I do think these things would work on these types of stakeholders. You're also going to hear Kim's unabashed confidence as he asks some questions that I know many of our listeners might be afraid to ask during meetings. He puts things plainly, and I think you're going to be really impressed at what he's able to do. And he's not doing this because I'm me, Kate Anderson, his friend and fellow project manager. This is how Kim would operate in a meeting. So I'd love it if you comment after the episode. Let us know what your thoughts are. I had a bunch of fun doing this. Kim did a great job today. It was a very silly time. But without further ado, Kim, welcome to the dungeon.
Oh, here we go.
Welcome to my show, Kim.
Thanks, Kate, Game Master. I'm a little nervous. I have my dice. Look at my dice. I'm all good.
Very good. Yes. So today, I have been running many TTRPGs for years. I ran a lot of them. I've run over like 1,000 hours of games, basically. So I'm obsessed. I love storytelling. Storytelling is one of the things I coach and teach, and I want to bring it to this podcast. So today I've leaned on different systems in the past. Today, we're going to lean on a new system I'm obsessed with and can't say enough good things about, which is called Daggerheart. This is not a paid promotion. I just love this game. And so, important for any nerds listening, the way that it's going to work today is that I'm going to send Kim as the game master on an adventure. And that adventure is going to be the meeting dungeon. He's going to tackle every nasty scenario that I can think of, and also that you, our listeners, have supplied me with to put him through hell. I sent out a call to our listeners. I said, help me torture Kim. That was literally the title of the email. If you're on our email list and you missed it, go resubscribe so that you can get these emails too. But I was like, help me torture Kim for April Fools. Tell me about your worst meetings. And from these worst meetings is what Kim's adventure is going to be through today.
It seems like there were a lot of people that were eager to help me suffer through these meetings. A lot of great ideas for suffering and pain.
I would say that so many people were like, it's so nice to hear you guys remind us that being a project manager doesn't have to be miserable. And it's not the end of the world, right? All it is meetings at the end of the day. But also sometimes these meetings are miserable. So I'm really excited. So I appreciate everybody who helped out. We'll give a thank you. We'll give you thank yous at the end. So the way it's going to work as Kim's in these meetings today is that he's going to have two dice. They're going to be D12s. That's a 12-sided die. And with those two dice, one is going to be a hope die and the other is a fear die. What color is your hope die, Kim?
My hope die is green, like all of my status reports.
I love that. And what color is your fear die?
Black.
Like my heart. Thank you.
Like your heart.
Today? Yes. Very good. So the way that Daggerheart works is they have this duality dice system where anytime a roll is called for, whichever one of the dice comes up higher is what the roll is with. So if you roll a 4 and an 8, whichever dice had the 8, that's the hope die, you roll with hope. That's the fear die, you roll with fear. the way that it works from a storytelling perspective is I, the game master, get fear to inject into our little story, and you, the player, get hope to help you out whenever things are hard. And we'll go into that more as we play through it, but I really love the system. I think it's incredible. I'm going to end up shilling for them for free because it's great. But if you are a game master who wants more role-playing opportunities in your games, get Daggerheart. It's so good. So with that, I would love to call you to adventure, Kim. So you have any questions before we dive in?
No, I think you walk me through the dice and the hope tracking as we go. So I'll look forward to that.
Yeah.
And okay, deep breath. I'm ready for my meetings.
But I'm going to put you in a dream because I think that's the best place to put one of these things. Kim, you've just finished in this dream. You're like a really tough project that you're quite proud of. How are you feeling in this dream?
I feel happy. I feel a little bit of a relief because it's over.
Oh, so good.
Sense of accomplishment.
Fleeting, but lovely.
Yes. Feel really good.
Okay. All right. Who is somebody you admire in the project management space? And it can't be me. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Historical figures or current figures?
Anybody.
I like Ernest Shackleton.
Who is Ernest Shackleton?
Ernest Shackleton was a British Antarctic explorer. He was famous because he took his entire crew on a mission to try to cross Antarctica, got stuck in the ice, and it took 2 years for them to figure it out. But he ended up sailing across some of the worst seas in the world with the most primitive navigation in a little tiny boat and managed to find help and retrieved his entire crew after 2 years. All of them lived.
I love it. In your dream, you are on a shore because that's obviously where your celebration party is going for this project you've just finished. And a man on a tiny boat holding out a lantern. He's going to have a yellow bucket hat on and like a yellow raincoat in his ship, which I assume has a sail. And Ernest, what is his last name? Ernest
Shackleton.
Ernest Shackleton looks at you on the shore, and he's got binoculars. What is it? Not binoculars. A telescope. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
On one eye, he's got a lantern on the other. He sees you, and he says, "Kim Essendrup, is that you?"
Yes. Ernest Shackleton? What?
Yes, you are the final member of my crew that I need. And by that, I mean the only member that I'll have. I need you to take on a challenge for me, for all of us, for the project managers of the world.
For the project managers of the world?
Yes, I need you to do a speed run. A speed run of a project, Kim. You're the only project manager who can. Many have tried and failed. We have jokesters out there using TikTok and memes to make fun of the value of project managers and what they provide. And yet, I need you to show them, Kim, that PMs are not useless. We're valuable. We can retake meetings and help people get things done. Please, Kim, take on the speed run of the project and prove to the world that project managers are helpful and you can defeat the final boss.
I reach down, I pick up a penguin, and I shake it over my head. I say, Shackleton, I'm your man.
He looks at you with tears streaming down his face that he's finally found the man to take on this course. And he says, I need you to build an AI chatbot for HR. It's the most important project the world has ever seen, and it's critical that it succeeds. Thank you, Kim. Thank you. And his boat starts to get smaller and smaller. He starts to drift back into the horizon.
Okay.
The penguin that you shook over your head turns from a penguin into a whirring blade. And the blade goes so fast, it heats up and turns into bright white light, which then takes over the whole room. And when you look up, the white lights have become fluorescent tube lighting, and you are in a conference room. Kim, you look around and you know this is a kickoff meeting, because as you see people wander in, wondering what's going on here, and making small talk in the room. And also, it's hybrid. You're both in a conference room and there's people on the call. None of the people on the call have their screens on, the cameras on. We don't know who's there. There's just big empty faces set in placeholders for them. You're there at 8:02, tragically late, 2 minutes late to your kickoff meeting. Your time with Ernest Shackleton held you too close to the sun. So you stumble in, knowing everything you need to know about this AI chatbot project. And it's your kickoff meeting. I will tell you that for this project, there is a charter document, and some people have showed up to this meeting. So next to you, we have a very, very clean business suit, very well-pressed, very upright man, Bill Clemens. This is the head of HR, the sponsor of this project. On the other side of you, we have a very well-dressed woman, an executive. She's the head of IT, and she's responsible for overseeing many AI initiatives within the company. It's her job to make sure that they're developing AI-first solutions as often as possible within the company. Also in the room, we've got Todd G. He is a guy in his 20s. He's been just typing on his laptop since he's been in there. I think he also has headphones or earbuds in, and he's been focused this whole time. We're thinking like messy hair and like a fine polo. You know, it's fine to wear clothes to work, but like this polo, he's had this polo for like 5 years. You know what I mean? And then on the call, we have at the very least Barry Garcia, who is not on video at the moment, and he owns HR tools. He's the hybrid HR tech role where he's making sure that they don't have too many tools and that everything they use they're getting efficiency out of. And that's who's in this call with you.
Good. Welcome, everybody. I'm excited to start this project with you. As we know, we're all here to kick off the AI chatbot project, which I'm sure we're all very excited about. Bill, since this is
I would love for you to give me a roll on, since we're all very excited about. We're going to see if people are excited about, if this is landing. We walked in 2 minutes late, so roll for this.
All right. So my hope is 8 and my fear is 9.
Incredible. So that's was that a 17 when you add those together?
Yeah.
So your DC for this was 11. We love it. And that's with fear, which is great. So people are excited about it. Uh-oh, Kim. People are excited. You know what that happens. So I hope we're all really excited about it. And Joan puts down her phone that she's been tapping on since she started. She's like, I am very excited about this project. It's really important that we're here to talk about how we're putting AI first at the beginning of all of our initiatives. Really glad to have you here today. Can you tell me about how this project is going to leverage the resources that we provided for your team?
I think that's a great question. But if we could take a step back first, Bill, our sponsor, I would like...
Sorry, I'm actually going to have to get out of here in about 10 minutes. So I'm trying to make sure that I get what I need before we continue.
Right. Well, as sponsor of the project, I would like to hear from Bill because he can tell us what the strategy is and what the important business deliverables are for him and why he's funding this project for all of our teams. Bill?
I would love for you to roll to see if you can successfully get Bill to take this from you.
All right. My hope is a 1 and my fear is a 7.
7 for fear. I love it. I get another fear. You try to pass it over to Bill and he says, oh, actually, Kim is leading the project, so he'll speak to those things.
Thanks, Bill. So from what I understand, based on our past conversations, and I pull up, do I have slides? I have slides.
Of course you do.
Okay. I pull up my slides. So let's talk about the slides that we put together. Definition of success for this project is an AI chatbot that can answer 75% of our employee questions, thus reducing overhead for the HR department and improving customer satisfaction for our employees. Is that right, Bill?
Do we have an idea of how many questions people are going to ask? Like, what's the load going to be in terms of those questions on our AI system?
The first part of our project, we'll have a discovery phase where we'll go through the current list of FAQs that our HR currently has compiled, and that should give us a rough estimation of how many questions. Considering that we have 1,500 employees, we'll look at also our employee ticket queue that comes into HR, and that'll also give us an idea of how many questions come in HR.
She says, okay. And how long is that going to take?
I have a slide on the timeline. We'll get to that in just a second.
Ooh, I want you to roll for this. I want you to see if you can get her. So, and here's what you're going to do. You have at least one hope, I think. Do you have any hope yet?
I think so, yeah. I think I have.
Have you rolled with hope? Yeah, you did. Yeah. If you want, you can add an experience to this.
I will
And
add
so
to this because this could blow up in me really, really bad.
it could. Yeah. And so what past experience are you drawing on to get her to like chill?
I'm drawing on my experience that she wants to get in. As soon as she gets what she wants, she's going to walk out of this room, and I need her to stay for just a few more minutes.
Okay.
And so it's going to be my experience working with her on past IT projects.
Yeah. And also your experience with busy executives as well.
Yes.
So you're thinking, all right, you're a busy lady. I'm not going to win. I'm not going to win the keep you in the meeting fight, but I can win the get you on my side fight. Am I reading that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I love that. Please go ahead and how about this? Roll. So you can add your +2. I will also grant you advantage, which means you can add a D6 to this roll. So you will roll your 2D12, add a D6 plus your +2 to see what you get on this roll, because you're pulling from specifically your experience with her. So I like that for this.
Okay. I got a 12 hope and a 3
Okay, so you have a hope. Very good.
here. So that's 15 plus 2 on my D6
Okay.
plus my bonus.
So 19. Very good. Your bonus will be +2 from the experience. So on a 19 with hope, incredible roll. So you say, we have another slide on this. And she looks at you. She sees how you are communicating. I have already answered those questions for you on the upcoming slide. And she goes, okay, leans back and waits for you to continue.
Very good. Secondly, second slide, briefly talk about the problem and the scope. The problem is that we have a lot of questions. There's some confusion around policies, and our HR team is currently taking a long time to respond to all those queries, sometimes causing some HR issues. So the scope is to implement a chatbot that speaks to specifically HR-related policy questions, mostly out of the handbook. Slide 3. Beep. For schedule, you can see my timeline here, my beautiful high-level timeline. We're kicking off now. We're going to spend 2 weeks in discovery, 3 weeks in design, and 4 weeks in implementation. And so by this date here, we should have a live pilot ready for trials.
Joan leans in, looking at this slide, says, okay, in 2 weeks, you're going to be able to say what the anticipated load will be.
That's correct.
All right, I'll see you in 2 weeks. And she gathers her things and leaves the room.
Joan, I'm sorry. Before you go, we will need some help from some of your resources. Can Todd speak to that for you, or would you rather speak to committing resources from IT?
You've caught her in a quagmire. Ugh. She knows Todd.
She knows
Here's what
Todd.
she does. She knows Todd. So she says, Todd's available to help you complete this work. See you in 2 weeks. And I will spend a fear to have her go without answering any more of your questions, because she's a busy executive. She doesn't have time for you, Kim. You and your little HR project. She showed up. She showed the head of HR that she was important and needed to be there. It's time for her to move on.
I look over at Todd
No.
G. What's he doing?
Oh, he hasn't taken off his headphones
Yeah.
the entire time. He's, you know what I mean? I think he just smirked at a joke that he read on the internet. And here's the thing. You know that Todd G always is able to like pull it out. You know what I mean? Todd G is always able to get work done. It's just not on your schedule. It's not without a lot of like he is good when he works, but does he work? Does he work? He doesn't. He works, but like not like you want him to. He works how he wants to, which is annoying because he's good at it. So he gets to keep working, which is good, but tough to work with.
He just reaches over and takes a long, deep swill of his Mountain Dew. Is that?
He does. Todd wants the Mountain Dew. Incredible. So what I'm going to say is that this meeting, the rest of the meeting goes pretty well. I think that once Joan leaves, Barry takes a moment to introduce himself. He says, sorry that I was on mute for most of this. I wanted to make sure that we respected Joan's time and respected Bill's time. I just want to let you know that I'm Barry Garcia. Try to give him a more recognizable voice. I'm Barry Garcia, and so I'm looking forward to working with you. It's my job to make sure that all the tools that we got on this project, that it meshes with everything else that we got. So really looking forward to the partnership. Great presentation. Really good to meet you. Looking forward to working together, Kim.
Great. Thanks, Barry. Have you worked with Todd before?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Todd, did you
So
get
really
any?
great.
Todd, did you get any of that?
Barry's like, I got to drop. I got a hard stop. So Barry drops off. After the screen goes dark, Todd looks up and he goes, are we done? And as he says that, he goes to leave the room. And when he leaves, it's like he walks out the door into like a void of nothingness. It's like he disappeared. So as you gather your things to leave, are there any action items or things for yourself that you think would have come as next steps from this before you like stroll on your way out?
Yeah, I would have wanted to actually schedule the next working session with Barry and Todd, but I guess I'll hit them up on Slack.
That sounds great. I love that.
I say, Bill, thank you very much for your time. I'm excited about this project. I think we're going to do some cool things.
I believe so as well. He leaves first into that void. You walk through that void as well. So as you step through this door, you're in another meeting room suddenly. The door didn't originally go out to another meeting room, but that's where you find yourself. And in this room, you look around and you recognize some of your peers in project management. But you are in the biggest conference room your office building has. And in this room are a minimum of 45 people. On the phone, there's another 100 people. This is the project update meeting that happens every week. It is 2 hours long. Every single project manager is supposed to give updates on their project. And at this one, we've started with 45 people who are new to this particular location or haven't been to this meeting before, that they're excited. They're in the middle of each person introducing themselves for the first time.
Okay. And so what's my mission here? My objective is to deliver my status report and then finish it. Is that my goal here?
That is your goal, to be able to deliver that. But as we are listeners, I kid you not, there was more than one person who came in with a meeting with over 45 attendees, over 100 attendees that have to do these updates with a lot of people while they do introductions. So you're not alone in the world. This is a tragically common occurrence in business to, I'm going to use the words waste time like this. I think people do introductions because they want to be friends. They want people to like each other. But I can't think of something more terrible than having to listen to the introduction of 45 people, especially when there are people virtually not in the room that you can't even tell who these 45 people are.
Do I have to roll for endurance? Because,
I love that. Let's
food,
do that.
Water, bathroom.
I love that. Let's do it. Let's give yourself a version of like a constitution check. So yeah, or DC on this. You just came for your morning meeting. We'll make this a 14 because you had some coffee this morning.
I did. Oh,
yeah.
I got a 14 with the fear winning.
14 with fear. Okay. All right. So you're good in terms of, you don't have to go to the bathroom right now. You're not like, oh God, I gotta go, but also they're gonna come to me. But I think like you're good, but you're last.
I'm last.
How is there anything you can do? What can you do, Kim? I'm like, yeah, your objective is to do this. Is there any way
who's facilitating the meeting?
Diane is facilitating the meeting. She doesn't run the PMO. She's one of but she runs these types of meetings for the PMO, and she runs this meeting. That's who's here.
Okay, tell me about Diane.
Diane, been in this company for a long time. Don't mess with Diane. Even whenever she gets things wrong, she's fine. She's been here like 18 years. So Diane needs to know what's going on and doesn't like deviating from process. Hard for her because there's a process. If we just all follow the process, everything will be fine. That's why she works in the PMO. So yeah, it's Diane.
I gotta go. I got a Jimmy leg. I don't want to be last. So we got 45 new intros. What number are we on right now?
22.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to pull up Slack.
Okay.
I'm going to ping Diana, and here's what I'm going to say. Hey, sorry, Diane. I don't want to interrupt, but I was just thinking with all the new people here, I know we like to get donuts or something their first day. Would it be all right if I deliver my status really quickly so I can run out and get some donuts for everybody?
Oh, Kim, that is clever.
Food bribe.
Oh, food bribe. Oh, bringing in food bribe. Okay. Very clever. Kim, I would love for you can roll with advantage because food bribe, very clever. The DC for this, we're going to make it 12.
Okay.
Dan doesn't like to deviate from process. So you get to roll your 2d12s plus a d6. You can also choose before you roll if you have a hope to spend, if you'd like to add an experience. All right.
All right. I rolled a 13 with hope winning.
Oh my gosh. You send this note to Diane. And you know what? Diane hasn't eaten breakfast yet. Diane is starving. So you get like, I think you get that like blush emoji back. Like, what a nice thought. Kim, that would be really sweet if we could have some great idea. And so did you ask to go like right now, or did you ask to wait until after introductions were over? I don't remember what you asked for.
Right after introductions.
I'll make sure you go first once introductions are done. Don't forget to get me a chocolate glazed.
I absolutely will.
Incredible. The introductions finish, and 22 people, that's still 10 minutes of introductions. So 10 minutes go by, but 10 minutes. And Diane says, well, so good to have everybody get to know each other. Really important part of this. There's a surprise coming. So, but Kim is going to be my helper on this. So I'd love to have Kim go first, give his status update so we can have him back in just a moment. So Kim, if you wouldn't mind.
Diane, thank you so much for the great introduction. Yeah, so we just kicked off our great AI chatbot project. Bill C. is our sponsor, and he's very excited about it. Joan is also looking forward to bringing us some great tech talent, which will be led by Todd and Barry. And we're looking for, and what this project is going to do for all of you is, remember all those annoying times that you kind of had to wait to find out how many days of PTO you had left, or what is the next public holiday? Does anybody have that problem? Raise your hand. Yeah, that really stinks. We're going to solve that in the next 8 weeks. We're going to implement an AI chatbot that's going to make it super easy for you to answer all those questions. Don't have to wait for a support ticket. So look forward to our updates, and we'll be looking for maybe some volunteers to help us with testing.
Okay. I would love for you to roll to see if anybody is excited about your AI chatbot as you are.
I got a 12 with hope winning.
12 with hope. Okay. AI is the hot thing at the office right now. So regardless of any of our listeners and myself rolling our eyes at how AI is going to save everything, it looks good on your internal resume within this room. So a couple people raised their hand to let you know that they'd love to be part of your first alpha or beta test pilot as part of this. So you get a couple people that you're able to add to that. But with that, you are able to jet out and go get donuts and come back. Oh, Kim, you have escaped the 2-hour-long meeting by being able to spend most of it getting donuts. Timothy!
Extra donut for me. I was kind of expecting if I failed that role, that people would start to ask terrible questions like, is AI going to release all my information, and start to turn the world against me? So
that's absolutely what would have happened. And I could spend some here at any time to give that to you. But I like how that meeting went. I thought that was very fun.
Donuts for the win.
Donuts for the win. Incredible. So when you leave this room, as you step through that portal, you jump forward in time, and you are at an executive update for this project. Joan is back, as well as Bill, and maybe a couple other folks in the room. We can see who pops their head up as you're here. But this is an executive status that, this is an executive update on, if you finish you want to have finished discovery? Finish discovery at this point? That sounds good. We'll have to make some decisions in this meeting. So you finish your discovery, and you know what you're going to do. You know where you're at for recommendations and whatnot, because you're going to do like discovery design. What was your schedule? Remind me. I don't keep the details. I'm just the master.
2 weeks planning, 4 weeks build.
Okay, cool. All right. So we'll put you that planning is your executive. We'll put you in the middle of planning. That's where we're going to put you.
Okay.
Middle of planning. And you got you did your discovery to learn, what resources you'd need. And now you're able to do your discussion with like Joan, who had wanted to hear from you previously. So, and I will spend a fear to have this meeting start with Joan saying, so it's been 3 weeks.
Exactly, Joan. And we've got some great information for you.
Okay.
So we performed our discovery, as you can see on this beautiful slide. Here's what we found. This is how many FAQs there are. Here's how many queries that we usually have. So that can give us an estimate of our volumes and how much data we have. Today, what I'd like to do is make a build versus buy decision. Do we want to build the AI chatbot ourselves, or do we want to buy something that's off the shelf?
I love that.
Go through my slide. And so here are the benefits and drawbacks of building it ourselves. If we build it ourselves, it will take a little bit longer because we have to come up to speed. That's something that Todd and Barry will work on together. The downside is it will take a little bit longer and we'll be learning a little bit as we go. So we have to plan a little bit of time for some different iterations and improvements. But the benefit is that we will be developing AI skills in-house within our team. So we'll have Barry and Todd, who will now be taking the lead on new AI technologies for other purposes. It also costs a little bit less. The other option is we buy something off the shelf. We can go with hrbot.com and
Very good.
buy their tool, and they will have to spend quite a lot more money on this tool, but the tool is ready to go. It's been already built by seasoned experts who really know this, so we know it's all best practices. We will have ongoing costs to pay for the software and a little bit of money for an onboarding, so it'll be a lot more expensive, but it's a proven quantity and it'll be up a lot faster. So, Bill and Joan, we need to talk through a decision here. What are your thoughts on these two options?
Really appreciate the overview. Great work on the discovery. Thanks for being so thorough. Two really great options. I would love to hear what Bill has to say. Bill adjusts his position and smooths down his well-pressed suit and says, agreed on all points, Joan. Great work, Kim. Yeah, we really want to be AI first. It's important for us to implement these measures. Love to see the research that's been done. Really, really exciting. Would love to know what you recommend. So what are we recommending?
Based on my discussions with our technical leads, Todd and Barry, I would lean much more towards building it in-house. Both of these technologists are very excited about learning how to do this. And the challenge is that we would just have to clear off some of their capacity so that they can do it. So we can do that. We can build it in-house, but we need to clear off at least 15 hours a week for both of these resources for the next 6 weeks.
Bill says, good points. Okay. Well, are we sure that these are all the options? Is there anything else that we haven't considered yet? I'd be interested to know if there's anything that we haven't considered yet. Joan chimes in and says, oh, great point. Great point, Bill. Yes. Is there another option that we haven't talked through? And Kim, I'm going to tell you, as God in this scene, what's going on with these executives? They're not going to make a decision. Who would make a decision in a meeting whenever you've brought stuff? They don't wanna. It's time to just punt this back and forth forever. So they're going to do everything they can to try to not make a decision in this meeting. And you, Kim, you've been here before. You've seen this happen. You've struggled with leadership that doesn't know how to make a decision. When Bill punts it back to Joe punts it back to Bill, then they punch it back to you. You're like, I've been here before. So I ask you, Kim, what do you do?
I've only got one trick.
Okay.
Joan, actually, thank you for raising that. There is actually another option. I kind of hesitate to bring it up. But the other option, there's two other options, I should say. One of the other
options.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great point, Joan. I'm glad you brought that up because I should have thought to put them on the slide, but I didn't think we'd go there. But this one is that we delay the decision. And so we can delay the decision, perform more research, but the longer we do that, the more risk we are of having to renew the contract with our HR support team, which happens in 3 months. So if we don't have a decision in the next, say, 3 weeks, we will probably have to extend that contract for another $100,000 for another year. So that is another option. We could just take our time and evaluate more options if we feel like we need to do some more due diligence. But there is a price tag associated with that. Should we just go ahead and approve that and extend that HR timeline just to give us some more time to research, or would you like to?
Well, you did say there were 4 options. So you said there were.
Yeah, the other one, I kind of leave it out of hand. The other one is maybe this just isn't the right time for this project. And,
Oh, well, that's not the right choice. It's very important that we move forward with an AI-first solution. And it's important that our employees are in a modern AI-powered workplace.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I didn't really want to mention it.
But, I did hear you say that, we only need a decision within the next 3 weeks. So it seems like there could be more time to go back and do some more research to figure out whether or not this is the right tool. Guys, you should see Kim. He's dying.
Oh, no. I didn't have said that.
You've made a fatal error, Kim. So she says, let's come back together. I'd love to see it if you could go more in depth on some of these options. She asks you for more data, more research, more stuff, and says, great, good meeting.
Wait.
And
So just, I'm sorry, Joan, before we wrap up, I want to make sure that we cover off on all the, so specifically, can you tell me exactly what you would like to see from each of these options? And I get a list, I guess.
yeah, you get a list, right? And so usually what happens when an executive does this crap is like, oh God, would she have thought of anything? So she would have wanted to see a cost comparison, like a pretty in-depth cost comparison.
I would have done
right?
that.
That's a pretty common one. So but more. You didn't do enough,
All
right?
right.
There's always more ways we could put money on slides and show it go on for longer. So she'd ask for an even more, you did like a basic one of the cost comparison. She wants to see it over time compared against like the cost of CapEx versus OpEx for these things. And also she wants to understand if in the contract that it's variable. She wants to see the terms of the contract read again. Like she basically asks for you to fine tooth comb everything, anything that like really, this kind of doesn't matter. You've already outlined the stuff that you need to make a decision with.
Gosh. Oh.
You did, you fool. I didn't have to spend a fear for that. You gave it to me.
Oh.
Okay. So, gosh, when you go to walk out of this meeting, it's like you're in severance. You just walk straight back in again. So you go to walk out and you've run back into the building again. You're like, what's happening? And you're back in the same meeting room. And a week has gone by and you've done the work to pull together the additional details. Is there anything else you would have prepped for this second time talking to Joan about all these details?
Yes, I would have sent the slides in advance to Joan and asked her, is there any other data you'd like to see that we haven't already covered on this?
I love
And
that.
if she's not available, I would talk to her assistant or whoever her number 2 is.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hers is probably Sam. Sam's like her chief of staff.
Okay.
So you could have got a hold of Sam. So why don't you roll? Let's see who you get a hold of here. So you sent the slides over to get Joan. It's gonna be like a DC 15.
Got a 19
Hope or fear.
for fear.
All right. So Joan does read them and she asks you to meet with Sam to get more details. So in between, Sam would have she would have gone through it and said, okay, yeah, but here would be another opportunity though for you to build a relationship, right? So you get on like a one-on-one with Sam in between because you're trying to get Joan to approve this, right? So when you meet with Sam, what would be your goal in meeting with Sam?
My goal with Sam would say, look, Sam, we got this business case. I need to get Joan's approval on this. Whichever way she feels is the best way to go, I'll support. I just need to help her get it to a decision. So what I'd like you to do is help me understand what information I need to give her to help her feel confident that she's making an informed decision.
Sam says, oh, of course. Can you take me through your budget slides? You flip to those and she says, okay, well, so like, obviously you've done great work here. Fantastic. I also saw the slides as well. But in order for Joan to make a decision, she's really going to need to understand about the long-term budget impacts for this. She's managing really tight budgets, trying to keep her team together, and so with what you've got here, that's not going to help her be able to do that. And then she gives you some feedback and suggestions on how to better frame this cost decision for the team. She also says that Joan has a very strong preference to buy whenever possible due to what's going on with budget constraints for her team. It's the route that Joan has decided is the best. But also when she buys, she needs to understand how you terminate a contract, like what the terms are to be able to get out of it if for whatever reason it's not the way that we want to go anymore. So she shares that with you.
Okay, got it.
All right, so that's happened in the middle. You walk straight back into this meeting.
Point.
Boom, right back in severance style. And so you start back up. It's your meeting, so go ahead and kick it off.
All right, we're here to revisit this decision. Our goal today is to decide if we want to go with build versus buy or hold off and extend the HR contract. So we've got 3 options here. I talked through all the financials of build, the timeline, pros and cons, resource commit, and then I talk about the buy options, what it's going to cost now, what the ongoing support costs are, any potential contract growth or exceptions, change orders, and I'm very clear to call out what does cancellation look like, cancellation clauses, and any kind of renewals. And I also call out
Fascinating.
maybe some negotiation tactics we can do when we go to contract, and maybe squeeze a little bit of concessions out of more flexible cancellation contract versus paying a little bit more for the contract, a little get on that.
Okay. Well, I would love for you to roll here to see if this is enough. So I'm going to set this DC at 14. If you want to add an experience before you roll, you decide before you roll. So up to you if you want to add anything to the roll.
I'm going to add some experience because I don't want to do this for a third time.
Okay. All right. So you're going to spend one of your hopes. So you can go ahead and mark that off.
Okay.
What experience are you pulling from here?
Financial experience working with executives who have had to manage contracts and delivery, have had to cancel contracts, and what their buying criteria and buying decision are. So executive interaction with major buy decisions. I think that's what I'll call it.
I like that. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and do it.
All
so
right.
like I said, the DC was 14. So
17. Hope.
amazing. An uncommon move for Joan. She's on board with making a decision because she came into this being like, we have another week to decide. But then you really went through every single piece of detail you possibly could. And she is convinced. And so the decision, and here's the thing, you rolled with hope. So I will tell you, you could choose. Did she go with a buy decision or did she go with a build decision? Because honestly, the decision doesn't matter. You just need a decision made. So what decision did she choose?
To make my life simpler, potentially simpler. Oh, shoot, I don't know. I kind of want to make my life simple by not having Todd G involved. But then I know with the vendor, boy, it can go really bad sideways. At least if I stay internally, I've got a known quantity in Todd G. I know how he operates, and I know Joan signed off on this.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll have some internal. I'm gonna go with build.
Okay, so we decided to build internal.
I'm gonna go with build out.
Yeah, overall, the terms of the contract didn't look very good. I think actually what got you there was that, everybody with AI is like, what are you going to do with my data? And that's ultimately what got you here too, right? So they were like, something probably that Sam would have shared, and if you had missed that, you would have had to go back and come back again in a week. Oh, yeah. So ultimately, it's like you hear all of the things that come up, and like Bill, like head of HR, he really just wants to make sure that like everybody is just trying to make sure they're doing the AI first thing, And so he believes that this will help give time back to his team and like help his team be able to, not have to sit there and answer dumb HR questions that like you could look up in the book, but nobody looks up in the book. So like let the bot do it. And everybody feels like it's a great use case to start building an internal AI skill set on. So you really come to a resounding decision in this meeting, but you had to do a lot of work in between to get there, but well done.
I look over, I go, Todd, headphones off. Todd, we're good. We're doing it.
Oh, sick. I've already built the environment. It's already, hey, look at this. He turns his computer and he's like,
Yeah.
what are our days off? And the bot comes back and says, hi, the company policy is to have and lists all the holidays that you have off. And then Barry chimes in and he goes, hey, man, that's great. We got a couple of different offices and a couple of locations. Does it say locally for each location what those days off are? And Todd goes, oh, I didn't know we had offices other places. Puts his headphones back on and goes back on the computer and starts working on his AI chatbot again. Todd, man, he can't stop. It's good. Incredible. So huge success here. I love that.
Took
very
me a couple
good.
goes. 3 weeks. I should not have said that. Yeah.
Shouldn't have said that. Oh, God, classic mistake. So let's go ahead. Let's go forward to we're going to take you to a phase gate meeting. That's going to be where we're going next. So you leave this meeting. Yeah, in the montage, we see Todd with his headphones working on his computer. Then we look at what he's working on. It's not your project. And then we see Todd with his headphones working on his computer. We look at his computer. What is he working on? Not your project. We see you showing up and being like, Todd, what are you working on? And he says, your project. And what is on is YouTube. Todd's not working on your project. He's not doing it. But then like at every check-in, he has updates and there's new functionality. You're like, when does Todd work? Nobody knows. It's very silly. Apparently only during other people's meetings. This is probably, right, we've been building internally. So you said it was going to take a little bit longer. So do we think this is like, I'm trying to be mindful of time here. I'm like, do you think this is like go live?
Yeah, I think this is go live decision. I think they've done the testing. They're deciding if they're going to go live or not.
Okay, so we've done testing. So you walk into this go-to-go meeting. We got Bill, we got Barry, we got Todd, we got Joan. Walk us through what you're sharing. What's going on here? How have things been going? Where are you at? What are you recommending?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our stage gate meeting. Set the stage. Today, we're going to talk about whether or not we're ready to go live with our new chatbot as scheduled.
I'm going to spend a fear to have Todd say, it's ready. It's ready. It's ready. I don't know why are we talking about this? It's ready.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about this, Todd, because of some of the test feedback that we've had from the team members. Although it seems...
What could they possibly have to say about that?
I pull up the test results and I said, most of the test cases come back okay, but we do find that whenever we ask about safety policies, it hallucinates really weird answers.
What do you mean really weird answers? It only says what's in the HR book.
I don't know. If we take a look at this one, somebody says, what do I do if somebody tries to deliver a hazmat package? And it says, don't cook it in a microwave. I mean, it's true, but that is not really the kind of information we want to be getting out of the HR manual for.
Well, I didn't know that we were going to come in this meeting and just talk about all the things that are like use cases that would never happen actually.
Well, it was on the FAQ document that we had dealing with hazardous materials. And so, I mean, Todd, before we go about this, I just want to acknowledge that you've done a fantastic job with this AI chatbot. It works great. We're getting positive feedback all the way across, but we do have some hallucinations, so we have to leave it up to our...
I don't know why you're calling them hallucinations. They're not hallucinations. That's not what's happening.
Oh, okay. Todd, can you tell us about what's going on with these results then?
It's not a hallucination. It's pulling from the only way that it can be working. That's not right. Okay. It's got to be different. So I think what you have here, Kim, is we got an angry engineer who's going flying off the handle. No, what he was doing, flying off the handle, just like out of Wicked. So
I'm going to let him say his piece.
Gonna let him say his piece. Okay.
I say, oh, okay. I mean, I honestly don't know what's causing. I mean, maybe it's bad data. I'm not sure could that be the cause if it's not your code?
Yeah, it has to be. It could not be my code at all. That doesn't make any sense. My code is perfect.
Okay. Well, it sounds like whatever's going on here, we might need some more time to investigate. And so the decision we have here for our sponsors is we've got these test cases and we've got great results all the way across, but we do find with this one category of question, we get some results that are not what we would expect, whatever the cause is. And so the question we have to decide, Bill and Joan, is, are you comfortable going live on schedule with these potential problems? Or would you like to push out the go live and give us another week or two to try to investigate what's causing this and only release it later on when we have 100% test success rate?
I'm going to pit these two execs against each other. So we've got Joan is like, thanks so much, Kim. The most important thing for us to do the most important thing for us is to release this on schedule. I think, we work in healthcare, and it's unlikely that folks are going to ask, what do we do if we get hazmat deliveries? That's just unlikely. We're in healthcare manufacturing, we don't work at a hospital. So I think the risk is fairly low. And then you have Bill who says, thanks so much for that point, Joan. I definitely want to see us move forward on schedule. However, I am concerned that, there's a reason why it's part of the FAQ. There's actually a whole, segment of our manufacturing team that does testing, and they do in fact have to handle, hazmat materials as part of that. And I wouldn't want to leave out, any of our employees as part of our policies within our company. And so they hit kind of like a stalemate between the two of them. What do you do, Kim?
Well, first, I try to see if there might be some middle ground. So I say, so Joan and Bill, you both have great points here. I totally understand where you're coming from. Do we think that there is some creative middle ground? And this is a question for Todd as well. Could we turn off responses for a specific topic and make sure that there's no responses? Or would it be acceptable for us to just send a strong communication, or maybe even an in-app pop-up window that says, don't ask about hazmat? Or maybe you have some more creative and more effective ideas. What do you think of those options, or maybe some other ideas?
let's have you roll to see how this goes. Let's have the dice help us decide.
Come on, middle ground. I got 15 fear.
15 with fear. Okay. I'm going to say that you do meet a middle ground. And you know what? We will say that this thing comes through. But Barry raises that we shouldn't close the project until we know for sure that we can safely handle hazmat questions. So you're succeeding into your launch phase gate, but Barry has put in a very big obstacle to close the project, which is going to be that you move out of this bad design and get something real in there. So everybody's pretty excited in the room about like, yeah, of course, we can just put a disclaimer on the screen that the robot, it doesn't say the robot hallucinates, right? We're just like, so don't ask the robot crazy shit. And, excuse me, I'll just again, don't ask the robot crazy stuff. And then it's fine, but it's only fine for, and we'll give you a timeline, right? It's got to be fixed within, we'll say within the next 30 days. Next 30 days, and you can't close the project until that happens, which you know, if you don't close your project, your own promotions and raises, bonuses are on the line. And also, you know, how many times a week do you want to sit in that project update meeting? You know what I mean? And besides, this is the gauntlet. We've got to prove that we can get things done. You know, you can't let down your project manager idol. What is his name?
Ernest Shackleton.
Ernest Shackleton. You can't let him down. You're here to help all project managers forever get AI chatbots done.
There's a little ghost of a penguin on my shoulder going, "Quack, quack."
Yes. Like the little claymation went, very good. So you are left with this big obstacle to get things done. So what happens between the time when you walk out of this phase gate meeting and your closure and sign off meeting? How do you approach that?
I'm working with Todd on a regular basis to get things done. If it doesn't, if I don't see progress, what I'll do is I'll schedule a session with Todd, like an hour, and I'll sit down and I say, all right, how we doing? I said, all right, how we doing, Todd?
I mean, yeah, we've got the disclaimer up. It's good.
All right. I flip open my laptop, I log into the test environment, and I start asking hazmat questions.
I'm going to spend a fear. And it comes back with the worst answers and stuff you know that you can't do it. You don't have to be a pro at legal policy to know like you can't say these things to people at work.
So, hey, Todd, it looks like some of these are still not working.
He goes, oh, that's not right. I want you to roll and see how you motivate Todd for this.
I'm going to say, hey, Todd, why don't you look into that? We got the rest of this hour. So I'm just going to sit here. Why don't you look into that? See what you can find in this next hour.
You may roll with advantage.
Oh.
So you can add a D6 to that roll. That's very clever.
Yeah.
Body doubling with Todd.
I've got 15 fear plus 2. 17.
Amazing. 17. Okay. Todd is like, you know what I'm going to say happens for you? Todd is like, cool. Todd's pretty stinky. Todd farts at least 3 times during the next 45 minutes. It sucks.
Endurance.
You're like, I just needed you to get this thing done. And he is working on it. But you signed up for more than you thought you did. The ghost of Ernest Shackleton. You see him in the distance at the third fart and he's waving at you like, thank God for this man, proving to everybody that we're valuable as you babysit this 20-year-old to do his job.
I'm going to wait till we get about 45 minutes of the way through the meeting, and I'm going to say,
great.
Hey, Todd, I'm sorry to bug you.
So,
hey, I was kind of hungry, so I was thinking of getting a pizza and some Mountain Dew. I mean, I got this room booked for 2 hours. Do you want me to just bring it in? We can just kind of work in lunch and work.
How dare you? Todd loves pizza.
I know.
Todd loves Mountain Dew. He has a Mountain Dew with him at all times.
It's his fuel.
It is, yeah, you get that pizza. Todd doesn't eat pizza, but he drinks all the Mountain Dew in the room, Todd might not be human is really what we're learning about Todd, okay? We don't know what species Todd is, okay? But Todd stays. And at the end of your 2 hours, I'll say that it's not 100% perfect, but majority, 70% of the time, the bot's coming back with standard HR answers. There's some funny ways you can ask questions, and the bot is still not 100%, but for the most part, reasonable questions about hazmat stuff seem to be coming through okay with the testing that you and Todd can do. So what do you do?
I call another decision meeting with Barry, Bill, Todd, and Joan. After I have to do some official testing, get some official testing results to quantify that. So we're back in talking about hopefully closing out.
Okay. Here comes the final boss.
Here it is, the final
Closure
boss.
and sign off. Dun, 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 dun. Incredible. As it's your final boss meeting, I will get another fear because this is the hard times at the end. We got to have a big climb, a big finish to get things done. Incredible. All right. So you sit down.
Thanks for joining. I've got some extra pizza and Mountain Dew here. And we're here today to talk about closing out the project. So let's do a quick recap. Here was our scope. Here's all the things we did. Animated ticks, tick, 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 tick. These are all the things we did right. Tick, 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 tick. And then next slide, animation. I've got things dissolving, coming out of, the checkerboard pattern, the really bad.
Very good.
Saying,
yes.
Here's pictures of our employees and how much they love it. And employee quotes, I never knew we had days off. Yes, now I know because of the HR bot. It's great.
Okay.
And then here's the party we had to celebrate the naming of our HR bot.
Charizard.
Charizard, the AI bot. And so here's the party we had for that. And look at all these happy people. What a great experience this was in bringing the company together for this. And here we are leading. Here's our write-up that we're submitting to the Business Times to talk about our innovative AI solution, which will hopefully get us published as a leader for technology and HR in our industry. And thank you again, Joan, for your many, many edits and improvements on this memo and press release. I'm sure it will go a long, long ways.
It should, yes.
But we have one last box to tick, and it's this. As you might remember from our testing, our AI chatbot didn't do so well in responding to questions about handling hazardous materials. So Todd went back and spent the last several weeks working on the system, identifying it, and we have taken it as far as we can go within the time frame of this project and the budget we have to repair it. And what we find is it's not 100%, unfortunately, but we get 75.8% of questions correct around hazardous material options. And so the question we have is, how do we want to proceed? We could either A, proceed as it is with some communication around the accuracy, B, rework it to not answer any HR question or any hazmat questions, or we could just decide not to launch the product until we have more time to do this, which would mean we have to extend our HR contract for another $100,000 for our people, for the contract HR phone answering people. Bill, where are you at on this today?
Really great work. Appreciate everything that you've done to get this aligned with our company policy. I do have to say, though, that the agents on the phone are right 100% of the time about hazmat policies, and the chatbot needs to match that. So I don't know if I can sign off on this with where we're at right now.
All right, Bill. Do we know that they're 100% right and 100% of the time people call them, just from a practical standpoint?
Well, they're all trained and answer the questions as they've been trained to and are familiar with our policies, so they wouldn't be giving out false policy information.
Okay, of course. What do you think of our other options?
Well, I'd like to close the existing contract that we have to avoid the additional, $100K charge. So it's a challenge. It's a challenging position we find ourselves in.
It is. And so if we eliminate by process of elimination, if we don't leave it, launch it as it is, and we don't drag the project out and have to renew, then the other option would seem to basically remove hazardous material from the scope of the chatbot. Is that what I'm hearing? Is your preference?
That is an option. Yes. If you would like to, you can roll to see how well you can convince him and see if he really does come back and say yes. Say this is a DC 12.
I got a 10.
With hope or fear?
10 for fear.
Okay. He says, well, I mean, I can't sign off on it as it is right now.
Okay.
That's where I sit.
Well, I think I want to come back and talk a little bit more about our option, maybe extracting it from scope. But let's hop over. Let's hear what Joan has to say. Joan, what are your thoughts on this?
Great work. Really love to see the team come together. Fantastic job, Todd. Just another great project. And Todd beams. Todd beams. Just, little golden boy of the world. Joan says, so really excited about this. I'm one who's honestly pretty excited to move forward. I like where we're at with where we are. But of course, I want to support my colleague and make sure that we're meeting the requirements that HR has. But I'm in support of moving forward.
All right. Supporting moving forward. Great. And let's just get a little technical backup. So Todd, what are your thoughts? Todd, headphones?
For once, he's not in his headphones.
Todd, what's your confidence of where we're at on this?
Todd's really confident in his work. Todd's never not confident.
I think he would
nothing.
The 75.8% accuracy. He'd say, no, it's not 70. It works right all the time.
I think probably what Todd says is, the thing about chatbots is, or the thing about AI that's really hard is that, nothing is ever going to be 100% with AI. Anytime you choose to go with a solution that's AI, you're going to have to double check it. It's one of the reasons why we can't just let it run stuff. It's really helpful. It's a great tool. So 75.8% is really high for what we're doing. And I don't know if it's reasonable that people assume that hazmat stuff that comes from a chatbot is what you should listen to, because that's kind of the first thing they tell you, like, not to listen to a chatbot about. So to me, I feel like we're really going well there. I will say that having asked for Todd, who's not a decision maker here, and getting his input, you can have advantage on your next roll with Bill about this. So we can give you a D6 for that. I'll also say that since Joan is so into this, Joan is like, we should move forward. She does cross off just one tick on your clock, just of her own volition, by like her just agreeing with all the work that you've done with Joan. But you still got 3 ticks that you're going to have to get down, which you're going to have to roll for.
And I can see that Todd's good grounding influence. I mean, it brings it back to the reality of the technology. That was good. Good answer.
Yeah.
And Barry,
that's what I think Todd would say.
Yeah, that's what Barry. So Barry, what are your thoughts on this? Where are you at?
I'm gonna have you roll for Barry. So give me. This would be DC 11. Give me, and you can, if you have hope, if you want to, you could spend it before the roll to add a +2 for your experience.
Spend it.
All right. So you have one to spend. Okay. Which experience are you drawing from here? How do you think your experience would have helped you win over support from somebody like Barry?
Understanding technical pride.
What's technical pride?
Technologists love to have accomplished really cool things and release them and get recognition for them.
All right. So DC 11, give me that roll with a +2.
I got 18 with hope. Amazing.
Mark your hope down. So I think Barry has been your strongest ally kind of the whole time, right? Barry, at every meeting, every time you've got to check in with him, Barry's been like, we got to cut this 100K contract. Like, it's so much more cost effective to go with the build solution. And Barry also, to what you just said, pretty excited about getting the new technology out there. So Barry's been a pretty good ally to you. So when you go to Barry, like, Barry, how are you feeling about this? Barry's ready to support. And I think that means that Barry gives you one of those, like, with that success with a hope, like he knocks off a tick off of your success clock that you need. And Barry says, it's the right thing for the business to be investing into our people, that we get to bring this AI skill set in-house is so great. There's other opportunities for us to continue to expand on this. This is just the first thing we can do. It's a great learning grounds for what we can and can't do with AI, which is like one of the goals, my personal goals of this project was getting clear on that. So I really appreciate, like, Kim's been a great partner, fantastic person to work with, and Todd's delivered an incredible system for us. And I'm really feeling good about, how this has been going as a team. It's great team effort. Really appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks, Barry. So I'm 2 and 2 now.
Yeah.
Left to go. All right. We'll have to see if you let me do this, but I want to pull out a MacGuffin.
Of course. I love a MacGuffin.
Here's my MacGuffin. I appreciate that. And Bill and Todd, I think, hazardous materials are very dangerous. They're deemed hazardous for a reason. And knowing how important that is and that it can affect health and safety, when we started to see the test results not really quite close to 100%, Todd, if you recall, you and I worked on a contingency plan, which was that if the chatbot is asked any questions about hazardous material, it will respond, I'm sorry, I can't provide information on hazardous material. That actually works 94% of the time. 94% of the time it catches it. I mean, no AI is 100%. But if we were to sort of flip this switch and use that, would that be an acceptable solution for you, Bill?
Okay. So in your heist movie flashback, you're like, actually, there's a contingency. It's not quite a MacGuffin, it's a contingency. But in the heist of this dungeon, that makes sense to me that you would have been like, there's got to be something else we can do. And then you worked on this, like, what if it just like you kept problem solving as you went through this, like knowing that it could be challenging to get a sign off at the end of it. So I love that.
Yeah, that was 3 Hawaiian pizzas and 2 liters of Mountain Dew in that we came up with that idea. So
yeah, been pretty late. You were at the office late that day.
Yeah.
You're having a real bro time, just being like, what if it did this? What if it did that? Like, you guys are being big nerds, big dorks. And to be clear, listeners, I say this as somebody who has been that person in the past. Like, I'll just stay at work late. Like, oh my God, my 20s.
Oh, wait, can we also have it rickroll somebody? Yeah, so that's in there too.
You know what? True, right? The only way you did that thing, but also you were like, and also you can rickroll people with it. How dare you? Don't tell Joan. Joan will kill both of you. Joan is a businesswoman.
That's between me and Todd. It's something we joke about now. Yeah.
It is. Yes. Yeah. Todd likes you so much now. It's great. Okay. So you have this contingency plan. Very good. So you have advantage on your next roll with Bill. The DC for that is going to be 14. If you can get 5 above that or higher, I will give you 2 successes for the roll. So you can also choose to add an experience as well to this roll if you would like.
Yes.
Tell me the experience you're pulling from.
The experience I will draw on to help convince Bill is telling stories to my kids to get them to do them.
Okay.
So for example,
Tell me more.
one year for Christmas, I told my kids if they came down too soon, all of their Christmas presents would turn into office supplies.
Evil, but smart. Okay. All right. So we're going to storytell with Bill.
Yeah.
Okay. Take me through it. How are we storytelling?
All right. Bill, in this world, there are some people that are explorers. For example, one of my personal heroes is Ernest Shackleton. Ernest Shackleton went down to the Antarctic with his team. He faced adversity, challenge, threats to his crew, and he did this all in the name of exploration, in uncovering new lands, and enlightening the world around him with what he and his crew were able to find. Along the way, they demonstrated courage and bravery and really became well known for the rest of history through their exploits by trying to go into new areas and really bring new knowledge and enlightenment to the world through their endeavors. And while our little AI chatbot is certainly no Antarctic expedition, in a kind of a funny way, we're doing the same thing. We're going into a little bit of risky area, some uncharted ground with AI, but we've done the prep work. We've prepared our supplies. We've prepared our crew. And we're ready to go on this adventure. And I think that we're going to be well known across the industry, across current and even future employees for our innovative work. And I think this is a great opportunity for us to do that. And so while 94% is not perfect, it's maybe not 100%, it's certainly a lot cheaper. It's very functional. And I think we've done a really good job of due diligence with some of the best people in our organization to bring you a fantastic solution that you can be proud of for generations to come.
Please give me your roll. I'm trying to get 2 successes off of this.
Do I see Ernest Shackleton? Is he here?
Ernest Shackleton, out of the corner of your eye, wipes a tear again.
I rolled a 9.
Total?
Yeah.
2d12 and a d6 and a +2?
Oh, no. those are 2d12.
Okay, 2d12.
And a d6. That's 13 Rolled plus
2,
2.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all right. So it's one success. So you need one more. Ba-ba-bum. Bill hears you, says, okay, it's a little bit of a stretch to say we're Antarctic explorers, but I appreciate where we're headed. I can see that. What do you do to get him all the way over the finish line?
Well, I probably ate all those donuts from earlier in the project, so I don't have any.
Oh yeah, those were, you want to give him several weeks old donuts at this point. Food bribe is for 45 introductions.
And the great thing, Bill, is that once this project is complete, we'll be ready to start the next project. And I would really look forward to you giving us direction on what the next problem we can solve with AI might look like.
Okay.
Empowerment.
All right, Kim. Okay. Roll for that. Let's see what happens.
20.
With hope or fear?
Fear.
Okay. Bill says, that is such a great point. We're very excited to begin our next project, which I would love to tap you as project manager for, because you've done such a great job on this one, and you'd be able to take forward the knowledge you have onto the next AI project that we bring. So I think if we're able to leverage your support, I would love to do that. That sounds good. I could sign off on this knowing that we could go into a phase 2 is where Bill lands.
Happy endings are happy beginnings.
Incredible. And folks congratulate each other. You're able to close out your meeting. Beautiful sigh of relief. And at this point, when you go to walk out of the meeting, you're the last man in the room, and you turn and you look back, and Ernest Shackleton is there. He says, "You did it, Kim. You've become an incredible project manager. You've moved us through everything. The AI chatbot is here, and the pinnacle of project management has been reached. Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much."
He hands me a golden penguin.
And another penguin comes out of nowhere and pushes you out the meeting door. And you wake up in your own bed, Kim Essendrup, a normal human man, out of the meeting dungeon.
What a dream.
Cheers, Kim.
Cheers, Kate.
I just want to thank our listeners who helped me come up with these ideas for the dungeon. I'm not going to name which ideas they helped me come up with, but just thank you so much to our listeners, our members. I want to thank the Dodd's favorite scapegoat, Bill Brantley, Lynn Henson, Brian Einstein Lassiter. I want to thank Robin, Nick, Tessa, and Nancy from our members. I want to thank Lynn and Maggie Dick for your ideas as well. They were just truly awful meetings, and I have so much empathy for the things that you've been in. We can't food bribe our way out of every meeting. Like, some things are just a little bit miserable, but hopefully you could food bribe your way out of some of these meetings in the future. But thank you so much. And if you guys want to contribute ideas to future shows like this, make sure to get onto our email list. Go to pmhappyhour.com to sign up so that you can respond to things like this and be able to be part of the magic.
Yeah, thanks so much. And all ideas you send don't have to be about giving me pain and suffering, although I guess those are a good time. But looking forward to your feedback.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And that's our show. Thanks for listening. If you liked our show, please leave a review and a comment on iTunes or wherever you get our podcast. Your review really does mean a lot. And if you want to check out our membership site and all of our cool content there, you can check that out at pmhappyhour.com/membership. If you want to talk to us directly about project management, PM consulting, training, or whatever, our contact info is on our website under About Your Hosts, or you can just hit us up on our Facebook site at PM Happy Hour. You'll find we're really pretty easy to get a hold of there. And that's it for today. Good luck with your projects, and we hope to catch you again at the next PM Happy Hour. Cheers.